Oh, wow, what the hell? Wow, that's so crazy. Hello and welcome. I am Joshua from Agatebay and I have something super exciting for you today. It's only happened once before that I have cut any of this material, and the pieces I have right now are super promising. I am talking about petrified and then agatized wood from Turkey. So these originally were limb casts which have been replaced and silicated by agate. Some of them entirely. You can see the entire original shape of the stone has been replaced with agate. In this case here you can see there's still some of the partial wood structure in the stone as well. Just some of these, they have like a little different shape than you would imagine it from petrified wood, but all of these are from that same locality. So stay tuned to see what's happening here. The first one is the smallest one of the batch of 6 that we are going to cut. You can really see nicely here the flow structures of the wood from the outside, and it is really nice for 2 reasons. First, it has some nice yellow banded agate, which I personally like a lot. And the other feature is these small needle pseudomorphs that you can see. It looks like it will be going all the way through on the other side as well. So I assume it will all be like in the kind of bottom half of the specimen, and then have like agatized yellow agate layers at the top of it. So I think I will just go for like a center cut in between the specimen right here. Oh. Yeah, beautiful pseudomorphs going on in this one. Yeah, the piece turned out really nice, just as I expected, with beautiful pseudomorphs in the center and a little bit of yellow agate banding up top. It broke off a little early, but this will be no problem for my polisher to grind out. Yeah, this piece is showing some gorgeous colors. You can see the yellowish green, then this kind of white, then another like greenish yellow layer, and then a red moss in the center, together with another nice contrasting white band right here. Also, it seems to be going all the way through to the other side. Here you can see the white in the center again, the red moss, and even a little bit of water level banding here at the bottom of the piece. So really interesting specimen. It is just screaming to be high quality, but I can see there's a massive fracture going along right here, and a few other fractures that I can see will be going inside of the stone. So I will not be able to avoid all fractures, but I'll sure try my best to avoid this one and just cut somewhat parallel to the fracturing line once around the entire piece like this. The piece is just about what I thought it was going to look like. Here you can see the fracture that I was trying to avoid, and opening up you can see it is just about as what I thought. The kind of yellowish green banding at the outside, then this red moss in the center, but also a couple of the smaller fractures here and there. I think once the agate is dried out again, so right now it's just soaked in oil, but I think the colors will also intensify a little bit more, just like we could see it from the outside once the specimen is dried out again. Yeah, the third one is just an amazing piece. Looking from the outside, you can see here is the water level banding really stacked up from the bottom to the center of the nodule, and just gorgeous banding surrounding it with a light blue and a little bit of red and white and green. You can also see it's the end part of the log, so it naturally is just coming to an end here, and probably there was a little bit thicker volume to that side of the log, but I only have this one piece, I don't have the remaining part. So what I will do is just cut a thin slice off so I can avoid this window right here where it's like peeking up to this side, and cut right across here, so I get about like a 1 centimeter cut off the specimen, and then I have like a nice full, yeah, hopefully museum quality specimen. And now we're just gonna rip it through. Wow, that's fantastic. Wow, incredible piece. This piece turned out absolutely incredible. You can see the water level banding down here with a little bit of a healed fracture which creates this what's also known as mosaic pattern. So if water level banding has like a stark contrast in between it, then it's called a mosaic. But a very nice contrast in the water level banding, the fortification up top, gorgeous colors surrounding the entire piece too. So this is really an absolute killer specimen. You could see it from the outside, and I could also see that it's narrowing down a little bit here in the center with the druzy. So now we have two entirely full banded specimens. This one still has a good thickness of probably a little more than a centimeter, and this is just a very, very nice full chunky specimen. And yeah, just incredible piece right here. Okay, we're going to make a little bit of a sound test right here. So you can see there's like tiny little openings on that side, and it's actually more hollow on the other side. So this is where the sound is coming through. It seems like there's a larger druzy part more to the smaller end right here. This side is completely overgrown, so I think it's probably some calcite that formed in a fracture that naturally ran through here. But I can already see there's a little bit of a moss section, some beautiful banding, and of course then the druzy opening if I cut a little further behind. Here you can also see a little bit of the moss and the beautiful banding. You can also see some fragments of the originally petrified wood in this area right here. However, I will stay a little bit closer to that side, so probably just leave about an inch space from this calcite broken off area, so I hit like a little bit of a bigger face and still catch the druzy that's hiding inside of this piece. Wow, that's a lot of moss. Wow, what an interesting piece. Yeah, this one hit me a little bit with surprise. Here you can see this tiny little moss section, but man, it opened up to so much of this beautiful moss in this kind of orangey color. It's so fine. It almost looks like it has some little plume sections in there too. Yeah, just a gorgeous piece. And up here you can also see the fragmented area of the original petrified wood. So you can see it's actually petrified wood and not just like an agate nodule. But yeah, really, really cool piece. I had a lot of fun opening this one up. This is the one I have with the most petrified tree inclusion of all the specimens I have here today. You can see it's really dark in comparison to the kind of greenish, brown, yellowish agate areas. I can see that it probably has some fractures running through, and this entire area right here is actually a big window that goes all the way over here, so I have no chance avoiding it. If I want to have like a cross section, which I definitely prefer to see with the tree growth. So I will just be cutting through this area where the agate is like the least interrupted, so where the bands are pretty close together, and then like have a round cut once across here. But man, look how beautiful the wood structure is over here. That is pretty incredible. Also try to hit left to the fracture which is running through here, and then come back up here to go right through this thin section right there. Oh wow, what the hell? What is happening there? Wow, that's so crazy. But what the hell is happening here? What? There's like 10 different agate centers in this piece with a little bit of the black wood structure, and like you can also see some of like the growth rings, and like here in the area some of the fragmented parts. But what a insane cool piece is that. I've not expected anything like this, so this is just really a fantastic piece. At the bottom side of the piece you can again see beautifully the flow structure of the wood. Here on the side there's a little bit of a fracture in this last piece that I'm cutting, so I'll try to stay left of that and give it a few millimeters of room. And then across here I can see there's another fracture running across here, but there's no way for me to avoid it. And then there's this larger sized break that is originating from this side window reaching all the way to here. So I'll also give it a few millimeters over there next to it, and then cut across it right like this. Wow. Wow, just gorgeous bending in this one. Another really fantastic piece right here. It is just a mix of both of the windows from the two back sides, and now has the combined beauty in the center of the piece, and just a gorgeous piece with this kind of blue and white color, as well as these earth tones surrounding the specimen. And here on the left side and the right side you can also see the kind of fragments of the original petrified wood. So a really cool and interesting piece for sure. It is also so large in size. There's also a location that's called Yellowcat Redwood in Utah, and pieces like this in that size and quality from Utah would cost many $1,000s. But since these are from Turkey and just not as high priced as the ones from Utah, you will be able to grab these for a couple $100s on my website. Alright guys, what is the resume of cutting these loafies of bread? The shape is just so unique, and that of course originates from the original structure of the petrified wood. And I have to say, I have been extremely blessed with this material. I have seen pieces that are a lot worse, so I have been incredibly lucky cutting these high quality pieces. The first one with the pseudomorphs, really unique little specimen right here. I've just never seen anything else like it. The second one with the red moss, also a really interesting piece. Let's see how the colors pop once it's polished. You'll sure be able to see all of these pieces on my website. I think this will also be a little more on the affordable side, but we have some incredible pieces we've cut. Foremost also this specimen here, which is just absolute museum quality. I mean, this is just, let's call it impossible to beat. With the fortification banding up top and the water level banding here at the bottom, the strong bright blue outlining the specimen, as well as this kind of mustard yellow color surrounding the blue. Just a really incredible piece. So is this piece, which just opened up to a ton of moss on the inside, but a great specimen for its geological history with the fragments of the petrified wood. Then this one is just, what? I could not believe it when I opened it up. It seems like it has probably a fracture running through, a very slight one, but I think after stabilizing it should probably be all fine and probably not possible to see it much at all. And the different centers in this piece are just outstanding. I just couldn't imagine anything like this to happen. And then of course last one, another really fantastic piece with this kind of bright bluish gray, and with these wood fragments at the bottom as well. So I think every single piece turned out better than what I was hoping for, pretty much. And then that is something I can very rarely say, because cutting is always just a risky business and you never know what you're getting until you cut it. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. Make sure to check out my website if you want to cut some rough yourself, or want to have the easiness of getting some polished specimens into your collection directly. You have a ton of choice of what you can find there. And also check out my beautiful Stonemaster saw. It will soon be ready for the market. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.